This video is going to be about talking about things I've learned since I've been on this journey. So I've learned to do things my way. So I have my own unique way of shuffling the cards, which is fine, right? As long as you get the message out. It doesn't matter how you do it. There's no wrong or right way of doing the cards. Tarot or oracle. It doesn't matter how you do it. As long as you get the message out. Or however you get how your gifts work, however you get the message. It doesn't matter. As long as you get the message. And there's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's just finding your own way of doing things. Your own unique way. It doesn't have to be because someone does it this way. You don't have to do it that way. You have to find your style that works for you. I learned that over the years of doing this. It took me a long time to figure that out. Because I would have people come along and say, "Oh, you're doing it wrong." No, I'm doing it right because I'm doing it the way that works for me. And however you shuffle, like for example, when I shuffle the cards, I'll give you an example of that right now. Is it? I'll shuffle like this. No one else does it like that. I'll have them shuffle like that. And then I'll keep shuffling them like this. Like that. And then I'll shuffle like this until I get to the bottom of the deck. And I get the card. That's how I do it. But it works for me that way, right? I don't always get a card flying out. There'll be cards flying out here and there. But I don't need it to fly out. But it does fly out here and there. But that's not a necessary thing. So, however you want to do it for you, right? Is figuring it out. And then when I get messages, I just listen in and again get the message, right? I get my messages up in here, right? I hear what Spirit has to say. But it's however your gifts work, right? So don't compare your gifts to anybody else. Because yours are going to be different, right? I learned that too, not to compare, right? Because I have different gifts, right? Mine work differently. And how I get messages. And there's no right or wrong way of doing it. It's just how your gifts come in. So, learning how to work with your gifts. So, for me, I had to learn different ways and how to figure it out. I've been figuring it out and my own way of doing it. Because if you try to do it someone else's way, you're just going to be frustrated. Because I found myself, when I would do things that wasn't working for me, and I try to do someone else's way, I get frustrated. So, and for example, I can't visualize. I visualize in a different way. But when someone says visualize a beach, I don't see a beach. And that's okay. Maybe I'm realizing maybe that's not my gift. Maybe I don't visualize that way. But the only way I visualize is if the Spirit shows me something. I can see it that way. So, however it is, right? You may not be able to do things, and that's okay. It may not be part of your gifts. I'm learning that too. Because I was like, well, why can't I see a beach? Why can't I do it? Maybe it's just not for me. So I just gave up on that and not being frustrated about it. It's not for me. So you just have to find out what's for you with your gifts and how they work and not to compare. Because that was my biggest thing. Learning not to compare. Because well, why can't I see Spirit? Why can't I do this or that? I see Spirit. Not all the time. Just here and there, right? Sometimes they come in as a shadow. And sometimes they look really real. I'm like, did I just see a human there? And I go look and there's nothing there. So it's however the Spirit shows up, right? And how you see it. There's no right or wrong how you do it. On how you do this, right? That's what I'm learning. As long as you're out there giving the messages and doing what you need to do. And how you heal. If you do healing too as well. That's another thing, right? It's finding your way of doing it, right? I do my light language, and it's unique, my own my own uniqueness, my own light language, right? But if I compare myself with my light language, I won't be out there doing it. So I have to not compare myself, right? And it's nobody's better than anybody else. It's just we all have our own unique way of doing our gifts. So you have your way, I have my way, and that's okay, right? We're all out there doing our thing, right? And how we get the gifts. And how we share the messages, right? How we have our gifts, right? Our gifts are unique to us. And you have to realize that. Because if you don't really come to realize that, then you're going to have a hard time with this. If you just come to accept that these are your gifts and this is how they work, then you'll have a much easier time with it and not put so much pressure on yourself. We tend to put a lot of pressure on ourselves. I do that too. It's like, no need to. Just work with the gifts you have and don't rush them, because I tend to want to rush them too. Oh, I got this new gift in. Let me rush it. Let me figure it out now. No, just let it come in the way it's supposed to come in. Because I learned that in the beginning. When I first started doing this, I was being rushed into it, right? If I had more time to figure it out, it would have been easier for me. Not rush into it. When I started to get into my channeling and stuff. So, not rushing it is good, because you have time to figure it out better. Because when I was doing channeling, I was rushed into it. When I was channeling loved ones, I was, in the beginning of my journey, I was being pushed, go, right? But I would have been better off just to take my time, even with card reads, right? When I was doing card readings, I just needed to take my time with it, right? And I would have been better with it, right? But I'm good with it too now. But I mean, for me, I would have just been like more not so like anxious and stuff. And no, and this is also I'm gonna say too, is you're not always gonna get it right, and that's okay too. You don't have to be perfect at this. You just have to be able to get out there and give the message too. Because that's the thing. You're not gonna be perfect at it. You're gonna be your own uniqueness with it, however it is for you. And that's key here, is finding the way that works for you and yourself, right? And with the cards, right? If you can do the cards, there's nothing wrong with using the cards, right? With Oracle or Tarot, whatever you want to use, right? Or you don't have to use the cards and give the messages. It's whatever you want to do, right? To give the messages. And how you feel called, right? If you feel called to using the cards, then use the cards. There's nothing wrong with using the cards. And if you feel called not to use the cards, then don't use the cards. Just use what works for you. Don't tell others to say, oh, you have to use the cards. No, you don't. If you feel called to them, use them. And then when you use the cards, is find your way of what cards work for you. Like, tap into your intuition and be like, I got a good feeling on these ones. Go with it. Right? That's how I got most of my decks. When I'd ask my guides too. So, and I'd ask my intuition, yeah. So, however you want to get the cards, right? And feel into the cards. And if they feel good to you, get them. See? So don't let anybody tell you you have to do this or that. You do it what works for you. So that's what I want to give you this is what this video is about. Is letting you know that you can find your own unique way of doing things. It doesn't have to be one way or another. It just has to work for you. Because you're going to have people come along and tell you you're doing it wrong. No, you're not. You're doing it the way that works for you. So remember that. You're not doing it wrong. You're doing it the way that works for you. Because I've had people come along and tell me, I'm doing my card readings wrong. No, I'm not. I'm doing it the way it works for me. And they're going to try and throw you off your game, right? They're going to try and throw you, say, oh, you're doing it wrong. So that you're in your head questioning it. Am I doing this right? No. There's no wrong or right way of doing this. It just has to work for you. And when you realize that, oh, this is what works for me, stick with that. And don't let anybody else get in your head and telling you you're doing it wrong. Because you're not. You're doing it the right way that works for you. Because that's the one thing I learned. And that's what gives me confidence, knowing that I know what I'm doing, because I'm doing it my way. Because if I tried to do the cards like anybody else, I would be frustrated, mad, and I would give up and not even bother with it. But now that I found my own way of doing it, it works. And that's even with my spiritual gifts, right? I've been realizing I gotta do my own way. And it works for me because I wouldn't be doing this work if I was pushing myself to do it someone else's way of doing it. So, you just have to find your way and how to do it, and the path that you're supposed to go with your gifts and your spiritual journey. No one can tell you how and what path to go on your spiritual journey, and you have to learn and figure that out on your way. And you have to figure out a way that how to use your gifts. This is key. How to use your gifts. Instead of trying to figure out how to use it like this person or that person. No. You got to figure out how you and yourself use your gifts. Because that's going to help you. And I wanted to share this video with you so that you can learn and don't have to learn the way I learned. You can learn by doing it your way sooner than I did. So, and I learned that, like, as I was learning, okay? Because I would be questioning myself at times. But why? I'm doing it the right way. There's no wrong or right way of doing it. So, you don't need to question yourself. Just know you are doing it the right way that works for you and only you. Because you only know how your gifts work. No one else knows how your gifts work. You know how your gifts work. So, you have to figure that out for yourself. And don't let anybody else get up in here telling you you're doing it wrong. Know that you are doing it right because it works for you and your gifts. Because you can't let anybody else tell you how to do it. You're the one that's going to tell you how to do it because you know how your gifts work and what works for you and what you need. So, it's okay if you want to use cards. If you don't, that's okay too. So you got to remember, however you want to do this, right? And however you want to do your healing, right? And works for you. If you want to use crystals in your healing, do it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't use crystals. You got to figure out how you want to do your healing, right? Because no one else can do it for you, right? Because your healing is going to be unique to you. And you know what? This is what I'm going to tell you too. People are going to follow your uniqueness, right? They don't want to follow somebody that's not being the true authentic self, right? With their gifts and everything. They're going to follow somebody that's more likely that's being their real self and raw. And being authentic with their gifts. And not trying to be something they're... Because people... trying to be something they're not, right? Because they'll know if you're being something that you're not. If you're trying to be like this person over here, they know it's not you. People know, right? So, you gotta just be you. And people are gonna follow you, right? Like me, I'm learning to be myself in my spiritual journey, right? Because when I'm gonna be sharing my spiritual journey, it's gonna be unique and different, right? And that's a good thing. I found it like it was gonna be a hard thing for me because mine's unique and different. But that's a good thing, right? I have to realize it's a good thing. As I'm saying it, it's like hard for me to say it, but it's a good thing, right? So you just have to be okay with whatever, you know, and like letting go. I'm having a hard time just letting it go, but trusting in spirit, right? Letting it go, right? And seeing your guides have you, right? They're going to lead you where you need to go with your journey as well. Just let you know where you need to go, right? I'm trusting in my guides right now. So, and that's also believing in your own self, right? You have to believe in your gifts. No one's going to do it for you. You got to believe that you can do this yourself. And you can do your own version. Not a version of me or anybody else. It's your own version of what works for you and getting out there. And I wanted to share this. I thought this was a good video to share with people because I struggled with it for the longest time when I started on my journey. Because I was like, well, I can't do this, I can't do that. Doesn't matter? No. I can do this, I can do that, I can do this, and that's all that matters, right? And I wanted to share that with you all so that you're not hesitating on your journey and that you got this. And know you can do this, but your own version. And whatever that is for you. And it doesn't matter. Nobody has better gifts than anybody. It's just we all have our own gifts that are for us, right? My gifts aren't better than this one over here or that one. They're just my gifts. And this person's gifts aren't over here isn't better than mine. It's just their gifts. We all have our unique gifts that were meant for us and what we could handle. So, do not compare and do not worry. You got this. If you do it your way. And if your stories are just as unique as mine, or your own uniqueness, that's okay. Just go with it. Run with it. that's what I'm learning to do. I just running with it, going with the flow, because I have my own uniqueness, my own unique gifts, my own unique journey. So what I get, when I get on the other side. So I'll be sharing that over time here, but it's okay that my journey is different, and I like that, because everything I do is uniqueness, right? And that's okay. That's who I am, right? That is part of who I am. And I hope this is going to help a lot of you watching this video, that knowing that you don't have to be like anybody else. You just got to be you and figure out your own gifts, right? You can take all these courses and everything, but if you're taking a course and you find that that's not resonating with you and it's not working the way that it needs to work for you, that's okay. I'm learning that too, right? You just have to find what works for you and resonate with you and with your gifts, right? Because they can tell you to do it this way, but that's the way they do it, but it may not work for you that way. You just have to find a certain way that works for you and yourself, because you can do it, right? And if you start with cards and you need the book, that's fine too. And if you want to go without the book, that's fine too, right? And however you want to do this, right? Just know you can do this. You got this. As long as you do it that works the way for you. Because this is what I wanted to share this video. Because, I was thinking about it. Like, why not share what I've learned? And not be afraid. I was afraid to put myself out there and be who I am. And that my gifts are different. But that's okay. I learned that. It's okay. And then I have a different side of takes on the spiritual way of doing things. That's okay. And you need to realize that too. However, I'm hoping this will help more of you just to get out there and do your thing. And not worry what others think. And don't worry about the judgment, because I worry about that too. But I'm working on, I don't need to worry about that. I just need to do my thing, right? The judgment. Because anybody's going to judge you for doing it this way or that way. You can't please people. The only thing you can do is please yourself and do it your way. And I hope this video helps you, and I hope it helps a lot of you out there. And thank you for watching this video.